Go to cameras. Can you see us all, gentlemen, on the stream in
Yeah.
all our glory? Good evening, everybody. Good evening, chat. Welcome to this week's Monday night A&DBBL Roundup. As you will probably see very clearly, I am not Chris Coe. For some ineligible, crazy reason, Chris has decided to have a night off tonight. Mr. Coe is currently indulging himself in a hot tub in West Wales with lots of rum. So good luck, Mr. Cohen. Good luck to us all this evening. So I'm Scott from A&DBBL, know me from the NDP podcast as well. Here to give you this week's roundups as we finish the last week of the the last week of the league, ready for the knockout championships itself as well. And it is my very great privilege and pleasure to introduce to you two other very fine, upstanding individuals, gentlemen, and all-round good Blood Bowl eggs and coaches. First of all, the MP for Stowmarket, Mr. Tom Hobble. Good evening, Tom.
Good evening. How you doing?
Well, how are you this evening? How are you looking forward to the start of the knockout sessions?
Yeah, it's good. We've got 8 games to get there, but it looks like it's going to be an interesting knockout session.
And as well as Stowmarket's finest, Mr. Hobble, we are very, very privileged to introduce one of Woodbridge's finest, Mr. Luke Baggett, also known as Carl, to his close friends. Good evening, Luke. How are you? How's your week been? How's your Blood Bowl
Good,
action?
busy. Yeah, excited to get back into it because I've had a few weeks off because I finished my season quite early, so I'm eager and ready to face Robert.
Excellent stuff. So, dear chat, dear listener, dear viewer, what have we got for you tonight? So we're going to give you the roundup of the last 8 matches, as Tom said. Then we're going to look forward to some of the really interesting and very exciting draws, both for the championship and the conference knockouts as well. Before we do, just a very quick reminder, you knew this was coming as soon as you knew it was me presenting tonight. There they are. The mugs, the charity mugs, the individually made, the exclusive classic Blood Bowl mug that we have for you. And a reminder, with these comes a guaranteed donation to the St. Elizabeth's Hospice of £6 each. So be like Dave Rue, the Prince of Ipswich. Get yourself ordered one of these. Make your life a little bit better every day of the week in work, or otherwise when you have your tea, coffee, beverage, or other fluid, whether it's organic or non-organic, that you put in there. If you want to get hold of one of those little beauties, drop me a note. You can DM me, you can send me the money up front, or we can arrange to meet and pay cash in a dodgy brown envelope. £15, of which 6 is your bonus as well. Crisco, we love you lots, but can you stop messaging me as well? It's a bit disturbing. Okay.
Scott, just before you carry on, have you got any more of the coasters available? Because a couple of people asked me if you've still got the coasters available with charity donations.
We have the donations. If you would like some coasters as well, remember everybody, Christmas is coming. Yeah, and a coaster is not just for life, it is for Christmas. So if you'd like one of those, a reminder, 6 of these for £5. 6 of these for £5. All money and all profits out of that, again, do go to charity. So it's all good. Thank you very much, Mr. Baggett. And I can confirm Luke is not working on a commission basis.
Not yet.
We think as well. So let's take a look and let's start going through A&DBBL season 9. So first match that we're going to go to tonight is a Battle of the Stunties. Honkington's Folly, Tom and his Gnomes, versus I Hate Blood Bowl, Elliot and his Goblins. It was an interesting matchup going into this. There was still the opportunity for Tom to make it through. Elliot, when he was up against it, Elliot's had a really interesting season so far with these Goblins. Mr. Hovell, from your perspective, sweltering heat as well, a very interesting matchup for these two stunty teams who have both had slightly different journeys in getting to where they are today.
Yeah, absolutely. And it seems to have been a bit of a casualty fest as well. Starting off with good old Skitter Stab killing a fox straight out of the gate on turn 1. And then it kind of was a bit of tit for tat of casualties and injuries left, right, and centre. It'd be good to know whether that sweltering heat had a real impact on them. But it seems that the Goblins had the advantage. They took quite a lot of inducements. Quite like the idea of that wah drummer because that can really mess up, especially trees or big guys on the line to start off a match. So that could have probably disabled the gnome team. But yep, it looks like it was a fun game.
Good 2-1 win for Elliot there. As you said, a lot of number of casualties in there as well. This one, if anybody wants to go back and watch it, is up on the YouTube, can be seen on Twitch also as part of our live stream coverage. Luke, sweltering heat, and then the little rogue who is Skitter Stab Stab. Do you think deciding factors that tipped it in Elliot's favour?
Very possibly. I mean, I think every time I've watched one of Tom's games, he's had sweltering heat. So I don't know if he's just got a perpetual curse for sweltering heat. But yeah, it always has a big impact, especially when you're suddenly losing 3 players off your line, on top of receiving a lot of injuries throughout the game. But I mean, he managed to get the 3 casualties back, and those trees are getting very, very scary. Yeah, I think they are probably my most feared big guys of all of the teams.
It is as well. If we look at the nest there, he's got all of the classic core skills, plus that little thing, armor 11+. So got block, got grab, got juggernaut. So you're not going very far on either a block or a blitz action if you receive both down. And break tackle is just a beautiful thing, isn't it? Really, just gives that tree that USP, that danger. And interestingly, as he was to go into his next match, and we'll come on to look at the next few matches for Tom as well shortly. He's still got SPP to spend. Nice to have in your pocket, gentlemen, before your knockout.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I think Luke, you mentioned before that we came on air that equally Tom is not scared of rushing these trees.
No,
so they are quite a deadly combo by the looks of things.
They are. So whilst we will come on to the remainder of Tom's league matches shortly, just a call out to Elliot. We know that Elliot took goblins at last minute. He's really been focusing on these skills for specific roles, for specific gobbos. Block on a pogoer is a really nice one to have. Wrestle on the lineman, block as well. That have been random, so very nice indeed. And he's still got SP to give this goblin team a bit of something to think about before he goes into his next matches as well. We will come on to those as well. So another good win for Elliot. Well done, Elliot. Cements Elliot's place in the championship draw, and we will come on to that. So moving away from Dark Side into our next match, and again another match for Sir Honkinson's Folly and the Gnomes. This time up against Dodge City, the Los Amazon Dodgers of Harrison. 2 the results, a lot of good SP, not deaths against, a lot of good SP. There's 17 star player points for Harrison, 5 casualties, injuries against and all that for the Gnomes. Was this now just one of those matches where attrition starts to impact it for you, Luke? Do you think this was just showed the difference in terms of having a bit more of a skilled up team in Harrison's Amazons versus the Gnomes and what they could bring to bear?
Yeah, that's it. I think it always is with Stunty. You kind of, it does very much get to a tipping point where suddenly you just can't defend anymore. But I mean, he clearly put up a decent fight, keeping it 2-1, even with 5 injuries. And, you know, there's always the threat of a 1-turn option, which I can't remember. Can illusionists be thrown? Maybe that was a coincidence. Let's have a look.
Yeah, let's have a look. They have jump up, stunty, trickster, wrestle. Don't have
not right stuff. So no. So that's a real touchdown. Not that 1-turn touchdowns aren't real, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay, another good win for Harrison to, I think this was the one, if I remember rightly, cemented again his place in terms of that top half of the championship as well then, Tom. Been an interesting season for Harrison, if we look at it. We'll come on to his last match shortly. He had the few upsets, but generally some solid results. And quite a nice looking team there for the skills and that rounded edge he brought to the Amazons as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've said it before, this is kind of a little different play for Harrison, usually being a bashy team coach with his Orcs in previous seasons. But he seems to have got the handle on these Amazons and the agile side of things, very much to the point that, you know, he was clearly dodging away from those trees because they don't even appear on the list here as anything. So they clearly couldn't get a hold of the Amazon players, which is quite good. Also doing that little thing where he's trying to skill up his Python warrior thrower with quite a few completions at the end of the match, or the second half of the match on there. He looked like he was, from here, it looks like it was pretty much a comfortable win for him by controlling the pitch by the looks of things.
Yeah, it definitely was a very controlled match. Looking at this from Harrison, was able to get that injury, get the first touchdown, and then, as you can see, turn 16 touchdown to guarantee that win and 3 more points in terms of his standing. So well done, Harrison. And Tom, as we'll come on to see as well, season wasn't quite over for him at this point, but at least he had nice weather, as we've mentioned. So let's move away from Dark Side then. Let's move away then into Swamp Dome. This was, if I have to say, a brutal match. Myself and Mr. Hovell were having a bit of a friendly tussle and playing some Blood Bowl on the pitch next to this. Justin looking resplendent in shirt and tie, very much next to Phil. And Phil decided to go with the Giant. He decided to go with Creek as well and not play Creek in the first half as well. And sure, Phil's in chat and he can fill us in on this one, no pun intended. But Justin did with his elves what I think Justin's been trying to do all season, to get the quick touchdown, to get the completions, to get the injuries as well, and then really press home his advantage. Tom, from your perspective, as soon as it started to go in Justin's favour with those quick touchdowns, was it really just a question of how many touchdowns and, you know, quite a really ominous task for Phil as well?
Yeah, absolutely. It was a complete massacre by the looks of things, both on touchdowns and on casualties. So it's an interesting one because again they've got a death in there as well, which fortunately for Justin it was only a lineman, but they're still blooming expensive. Those elves are. Yes, there was a couple of interesting things. We was, as you said, quite rightly said, we sat there and were watching it in the corner of eye. Things like Creek wasn't put on particular times during the game, which, you know, I'd be interested to know what the reasons behind that. Phil is actually in chat and he said he did get a one-turn touchdown though, which is a thing of beauty.
It was indeed. If I remember rightly, Krieg in his roller star play, when he did come on, he did take out a lot of players. Unfortunately, they were his own players, and he actually took down the Giant. I think it's on a couple of occasions. Phil will confirm. And included in that was all sorts of shenanigans. Justin doing lots of 2-ups in terms of dodging through to get and just really keep the pressure on, and then the Giant deciding to throw, or was it a trough? Phil will be able to confirm. And the little gobbo that was thrown, the little snotling that was thrown, I believe, took out the Giant and took out Krieg as well. So yeah, as you can see, 6-1 is a big one. It does help though, Luke, when you've got a movement 9 elf, and really sort of everything seemed to click really for Justin.
That's it. And I think, I mean, he nearly, I think, got enough for a skill up again, just in this game alone with that catcher, which is kind of amazing. But yeah, I mean, Phil has been just phenomenal with the blobby meme that is keeping going. And the idea of a one-turn touchdown resulting in a giant and Creek getting knocked down is hilarious. So well done to Phil for that. But yeah, you can't take it away from Justin. Like, even if you're playing Snotlings, it's still an achievement to finish with 6 touchdowns, which you can't take away from Justin there. And I think is that now tying with most touchdowns in our league in a single game with Elliot there?
I believe it is. I
Could be,
believe
yeah.
it is indeed, yes. Although it wasn't Elliott's 6-0. So just to look at it from a purely touchdown
Yeah.
difference, Elliott still, that's a crown he holds as well.
Yeah.
Looking at the L's then, Tom, we've got some very specific individuals who we know, really. Is it a concern again? We've talked about this before. Is there a risk that it just will take one POW and one roll of the dice to be, is this too much invested in specific players, or because Justin plays them so well, does it really not matter? If you look at that catch, for example, catch, nerves of steel, block dodge, break tackle, and movement 9, which is filthy. So it's almost give the ball to the catcher,
Yeah.
and it's gone.
Well, he's now only got, he's only got 9 players, so he's obviously had quite a few knocked out or killed. Obviously, in this game he did, and equally only got 1 player with armor 9. So his other blitzer has had a stat bust on the armor, so he's got armor 8 as well. So they are looking a little bit fragile, to say the least. Although they are, most of them all blodged up with a lot of scary other things that Justin uses those skills to his advantage, as we well know.
Yes, well, last thing on this one then, Luke, before we move on, 1 re-roll and 1 leader re-roll. Is that enough, do you think, for Justin? Would it be enough for yourself?
Considering the amount of dodge and block he's got, probably. And I think it's I think he's balanced his team value well, considering his kind of superstars on his team. So I think he's got a good chance in the conference there.
Yeah. And let's take a moment and say a big thank you to Phil as well. New team for this season, never played them before in terms of the old Snotlings. He's been, on the end of some very difficult matches as well, but he's still playing, he's still fighting on in there, he's still bringing entertainment to the tabletop. So Phil, just a big thank you for that from the community. And Phil, as we'll come on to see shortly, holds the kudos of being the first coach in season 9 through to the quarterfinals already.
Yep.
Come on to that, talk more about that. So let's move away from Swamptone then into Middenheim. This was also being played last Friday night. Mr. Dave Rue, the Prince of Ipswich, and his Necro Horror against Mark and his Wood Elf. And a real turn up for the book in terms of results. Now, I saw the match, so I know quite a bit of what happened. This was a match whereby Mr. Rue didn't really get hold of the ball until approximately turn 15. So a bit of a difficult one there. When the ball was on the pitch, Dave couldn't pick it up for love nor money. And Mark played, I thought, a very, very good controlled match of Wood Elves as well. Lots of potential impacts going on. As you can see, low on the SPP, but it was a very tense and very tight affair in terms of that as well. I thought it was a really good effort. We can see that at the start of it as well. It was very, very balanced, very sunny, which isn't the best for a passing team such as your Elves as well. But it was what I think when you see Wood Elves played with a control match, this was really, really well played by Mark as well. Getting that touchdown at turn 7 didn't really give Dave the opportunity to come back into it as well. And as you can see, it was one of those games where despite a thrower missing the next game, Dave just couldn't get hold of the ball to score. And if you can't do that, get hold of the ball to score your touchdowns, that's going to be a difficult one. So Luke, a really good win there for the end of the league campaign, and a really, another win for Mark in what is his first season in the A&DBBL.
Yeah, definitely. And I think very well deserved. Like, Mark has been improving every time I've seen him play, which is always good to see with new coaches, especially against someone like Dave, who is so experienced and, as we all know, a very good player. And I think Mark was saying to me that he got quite lucky with a few a blitz result, which managed to help him kind of screen off that ball and kind of prevent Dave from kind of getting to it. And a blitz is a role on the kickoff table, and if you don't prepare for it, and the other coach is more suited to react to it, it can, as we see here, turn the tide of a game. So I think I think both coaches will react from that, and I'm sure Mark is kind of thrilled with his result there.
Indeed. Mr. Hobble, do you think that this defeat in his last game there for the league will affect Mr. Rue in any way, shape or form? The setup of this Necro team already looking very good, got all the solid bases covered as well.
Yeah, no, I don't think it's going to affect him that much. Dave's played long enough to kind of lick his wounds and get on with it, kind of thing. But this game is a really good example of the quality of.
Good evening, chat. Good evening, everybody. So apologies for that. We just did it basically to tease Chris Coe. If we didn't have a technical issue, then it wouldn't be really the same Monday night A&DBBL Blood Bowl when Chris isn't here as well. So it's absolutely ruined his OCD and probably means he's drinking several more rums. So we're going to move away then from Middenheim into Longship, next group of the match. And this was Mr. Tom Huns with what seems to be the bare bones of a Dark Elf team, lots of journeymen against everybody's favourite Goblin player after Scott Norman. Again, one of the most exciting players and enthusiastic players we have with Leanne in Gortus Giggling Gits. This wasn't as sort of one-sided as it appears, Mr. Bagshot.
No, and I think for Leanne facing Tom, it's probably quite intimidating with how good a player Tom is. And to be scored against so quickly is always puts pressure up. But then to immediately get a one turn straight after, it's even with losing all of those sent off players, getting the one turn straight back is always satisfying. And while I alluded to it earlier, I think one turn touchdowns are the superior touchdown rather than an inferior. But as it carried on, it is clear Tom was in control, and with a 5-1 result, it's clear who had control of the game. Being 2 turns between most touchdowns is what you'd kind of expect from that result.
Was Tom doing what coaches often do against Goblin teams as well, with lots of secret weapons there, Tom, getting the early touchdown, and then all of a sudden all of the secret weapons are sent off. So unfortunately, any bribes. And interestingly, in this match, the Giggling Git didn't really have much in terms of inducement levels, Tom. Do you think that had a big impact on the match?
Yeah, so that is an interesting one, isn't it? Because usually you'd think of Goblins versus Elves, you'd have a load of inducements of money readily available. But it's the fact that Tom had to take on 5 journeymen. Really, it made it quite an interesting match. And it's an interesting one where I'm sure there'll be learnings from both teams on this. You've seen more and more with Goblins that people hold a couple of secret weapons back just in case the inevitable does happen, as it did in this scenario. By the time it was 2-1, there was already another dead Goblin on the pitch, and then it turned to pouring rain, which you'd think, okay, that might have an impact on it and make it a little bit difficult. But clearly, these elves can pick up on 3+s quite with
It's
ease.
what everyone else does. So
Yeah, exactly. They're
Yeah.
just humans now.
Leanne as well, when she's getting the casualties were going against her key players. So where you do have some skills built up as well when they're not on the pitch, it makes it doubly difficult as well. So I think phenomenal. But let's put it in perspective as well, guys. I think this was Leanne's third one-turn touchdown of the season, with probably one of the most difficult teams to get it with. So in terms of showing, again, we've talked about this before, showing how coaches develop and they develop over time within, A&DBBL. So really to see Leanne take on this mantra, this mythical mantra of being, the queen of the one-turn touchdown, as it were, really, really, really. And Mr. Hovell, have you scored a one-turn touchdown in Blood Bowl?
No.
So there you go. So everybody out there is thinking, oh yeah, Leanne's, Leanne is progressing as a coach to score, not one, not two, but 3 one-turn touchdowns. Have you scored 3 one-turn touchdowns in a season, Mr. B?
I have, yeah. But
You have, but
I
you're
regularly
modest, so
do
you
it
should have said
to,
no at that page.
But she is on 5 overall this season, which is huge as well.
Yeah.
From 0 last season to 5 this season. So she keeps on that progression. We all need to be scared.
It will do. And it's another good win, another solid win, and some really good SPP to develop the team for Mr. Hovell. Mr. Hans. We can see as well already at 1 million with just 7 players, such is the curse of skilled up elves as well. But that's not a bad roster there for Tom to take into the knockout stages.
No, absolutely. All that nice blodge everywhere. A dirty player for a bit of fouling, and that witch elf with block, sidestep, and tackle. That's a nasty player.
Yep.
And he is keeping just over 50% non-journeyman, which is also a nice achievement.
And as well, it means he gets to keep his treasury. So it does give Tom a lot of options when we come on to look at the knockout draw then. So, yeah, well played, Tom, in terms of getting that result. Again, scoring 5 touchdowns is not an easy thing. So well played, Tom. And Leanne, well played for all of this season, all of the one-turn touchdowns, all of the enthusiasm and enjoyment you bring to the Blood Bowl environment. Moving on to Longship, we're now going into Middenheim. This was a really interesting match. This was for 2 coaches who couldn't at this stage make it to the playoffs as well. A good bounce back from Jane after a couple of defeats this season, and I think this was her first win of the season as well. Dice haven't been really her thing, so coming back against Simon as well, who, despite having Bomber, despite having Fungus as well, and a couple of bribes, unable really to foul those Necro people off the pitch. And as we can see, a lot of fouls coming in as well from Moonface, everybody's new favourite fouling dirty player, Gobbo, as well. So, Tom, from your perspective, for both coaches, nothing to lose, all to play for.
Yeah, and these are multiple redraft teams as well, so those skills were very high. Again, the classics on the inducement side of the Black Orcs with Fungus the Loon and Bomber Dribble Snot.
Yeah.
Although, unfortunately, it didn't seem to, like you say, with all that fouling, it didn't really come to anything, unfortunately, on that side of things. I wonder if there's a couple of knockouts, potentially. But it's always nice to see a dirty bedsheet take a Black Orc out as well.
And Luke, from your perspective, see you smiling away there. Thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I was just checking the honours list just now, and Simon is tied with Mr. Norman for most fouls currently. So Mooney is definitely earning his place as a fearsome fouler. And yeah, it's unfortunate getting the 2-0 loss, but yeah, yeah, having the secret weapons to play with is always enjoyable too, but clearly not too much impact in this game. And Jane's team is
Both
phenomenal.
coaches already, before the announcement of the new Season 3 for Blood Bowl for 31st of November for your diaries. For that one, it's going to be looking at possibly new teams. We know that Jane has taken possession of a new Roga, and Simon looking for other coaches as well. So the guys have still got the knockouts to play for, everything to enjoy those last few games of Blood Bowl in season 9. So well done, and again, nice to see everybody getting through their games. Let's move on to our penultimate match. The third time, it's almost as if he's taking over the stream tonight, Tom at Sir Honkington's Folly. This time against Carl, as he is known, the current Death on the Demon 3 champion, although not with his rats this season. The Ogres make another return. Incredibly high scoring in terms of SPP, lots of action going through. Looks like an absolutely fantastic match in terms of the overall. If we just look at the start of the match and in terms of the inducements, really not a lot to choose for, although Carl did go with old Joe Bugman, so he has that extra player to come on if he needs to be as well. And everybody, well, another favourite tree as well, another dead Noblar in the beginning as well. So Tom, everything you'd come to love, look forward to, and expect from a game of two stunties and two coaches who really like to go for it.
Yeah, absolutely. And taking on what Luke was saying, clearly Tom had a look at the honours list as well and thought, I want a piece of that fouling action. And he's now in 4th place because there's a heck of a lot of fouls on this game. There's literally every turn on here. But yeah, it seems to have been a really fun game. I always like looking at the timeline along the top and just looking at the volume of icons there. Usually in a kind of implies that there was a lot of silliness and fun happening.
It is. If we have a quick look, then this was the last match. So this is, as we said, this is the state of the gnomes as they go into the knockout. Still some SPP to use, or got a lot of nice core skills, a lot of dodge wrestle pieces there as well. It's going to be very interesting how they play, although, as we discussed earlier before the stream, no foxes, Luke. Do you think that's going to be a big impact for these guys before they start?
Yeah, I would be surprised if we don't see one of those foxes get fired ready for the knockout games, but that would be a guess as well, because he's down a few. He's down a Beastmaster as well, which again might be another thing he considers hiring.
Yeah.
It's looking like a very sad gnome injured team at the moment, but you don't need many gnomes to get one-turn touchdowns. I think that's the theme of today's roundup. And then ditto with the ogres. Losing an ogre in that game is pretty tough. But he's still on 5 ogres, but still no rerolls for Carl, which is admirable, I think is the word to use. Yeah, but they are looking fearsome now, kind of a block break tackle, a brawler break tackle, 2 brawler break tackles, sorry. So we've got 2 up dodging ogre.
Yay! We're back.
There we go. We're back.
Who knows what's going on? Lesson to us all.
I think we're on air.
Yeah, we are. Laptops are lovely things, but you know why they decide to update themselves in the middle of streams, who knows? Right, we're going to finish off then. Let's go through. So first of all, well done, Carl, on the season, and well done to Tom for getting your first win there of the campaign. Well done. Talking of first wins, Mitch and his vampires beating Harrison by a considerable score. This is a very good way to end your league matches then, Tom, as our regular vampire coach.
Yeah, absolutely. He's certainly got the hang of these vampires in this game. And it's nice to see because clearly the dice were rolling in his favour and he was causing a lot of upsets here. 5 injuries and 1 death to the Amazons, which is pretty horrible. Kind of a couple of stat busts in there as well. Especially equally with I think they had a weather change, but the weather stayed nice as well, which was quite nice, which was good. Yeah, these this really showed how to play vampires and how to play them well.
Interesting choice of inducements there from Harrison. Not just one, but 2 wandering APOCs, Carl.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna breeze over that. It's fine. So I came down to Hopsters for this because I was doing the draw shortly after this game, and it was very much a game of Harrison saying, "Oh, I don't mind if you kill that journeyman," and Mitch rolling an 11, breaking the armor, then rolling a 10, getting a casualty, rolling the 16, killing the journeyman, and you couldn't have kind of orchestrated it more, where Mitch had complete control over that game. And hats off to Harrison. He had, I think after the 3rd touchdown, had 3 players he could field, and rather than conceding, he carried on playing. He elected not to roll his knockouts because they were safe, and fielded his 3 and still managed to farm a little bit of SBP on his I think it was the Jaguar. The Warrior Blitzer managed to get a completion in those final turns before he got the 4th touchdown. But it was, I think, those 3 or the two APOCs plus his own were purely to try and keep his team healthy for the knockouts. And I think he used one of them in the game. So there was kind of not much he could do. But Mitch, you can't take it away from how well he played either.
Well, congratulations, Mitch, on a 4-0 win in anybody's book. It's a fantastic result. So very well done indeed. Harrison playing the long game tactics there as well. If we do look at the Dodgers now, do you think this is going to come back to bite him, Luke? He's missing one skilled up Python thrower as well. Okay, he's got a few bits of SP, but do you think he's done enough to keep the core of this team safe and ready for the knockouts?
I think he has, and I think that was probably his focus during this game. He was comfortably through. The only way Mitch, I think, could have upturned it was something like getting 7 casualties and 13 touchdowns or something like that. So I think he was fairly safe in the conference there. But I mean, he gave it a good go, and but I think Harrison, he made the right call, trying to keep his players alive, ready for this knockout stage, which I guess we can move on to now.
We are about to go there, definitely. So first of all, a big thank you to all the coaches for everybody taking part in the league this season. Let's go on to all the piece that everybody's been waiting for. Let's look at the boards and how the Octo finals and possibly people's routes to glory transpire. So let's start with the Champions Cup then. So first up, we have a real dodge off there. We have James and his Disco Danger Rats playing Simon and his Harlequins. Simon making it into the top half of the draw, which is really good to see. We've talked about how these Dark Elves of his really seem to be coming alive this season. I'm going to put both fellow coaches here on the spot tonight to name who they think is likely to go through or who they would put their few gold coins on as well. So, Mr. Hovell, what's your thoughts? Who would you put your money on?
I'm going to go with the Rats on that one. I think James has been playing that team exceptionally well. He's getting some absolutely horrifically high scores, starting off the season with a spate of 4 4-0s and 4-2s and 2 4-2s and 2 4-0s he had in the front half of his season. So sorry Simon, but I think it's James's to lose.
Okay, wow, that's a bit of a opinion there from Mr. Hovell. He's obviously been causing controversy on several podcasts recently. Luke, do you agree? Do you agree with Tom, or do you think that we've seen what can happen, as we saw with Harrison playing James as well? These are knockout matches. They will,
Yep.
just a reminder, all coaches, and Luke, and as our admin representative, can confirm, knockout matches are going to 16 turns. If it's level, it will go to 8 further turns each. And then if it's level after that, it'll be the infamous penalty shootout stroke dice roll extravaganza.
That's right. Yeah. And so just a quick thing while we're on it. These is it octofinals? These are called. Yeah,
Yes.
will be until hopefully the 21st of September. So please try and get your games in by then, and let us know if you've got an issue. But
yeah.
So as for the prediction, I do think we're going to see a Handley in the final, and I don't want it to be Robert. So I'm gonna. I think James has got a good chance to get through there.
Okay, so I'm going to go for Simon just because I think there could be an upset on the cards here. So, and you two have just been totally biased against the Rats, understandably, because it is a phenomenal team as well. So, good luck to these coaches and everyone we talk to. Then we come to what could be the Stunty Cup decider, the Melton Mudpackers. Good evening, Andy in chat, versus the man who hates Blood Bowl, and particularly goblins as well, Elliot, who we've covered. Andy coming into this unbeaten, Tom. Elliot coming into it on the back of some really good results, especially with Skitter. If we actually take a look at this, however, the petty cash is, and the inducement number is really lying with the Snotlings. Where does your money lie in this one?
Yeah, this is a more difficult one to kind of predict, really, because as you quite rightly say, the Melton Mudpackers have been absolutely amazing this season. You know, very confident in how to play this team. And also the petty cash is in their favour. But, you know, you should never underestimate Elliot. So it's going to be a difficult one, but I might have to side with the Melton Mudpackers.
Carl? Luke? Carl? Luke?
It's fine. I've
been waiting to get it in when he's not paying attention.
Yeah, I know. I hope. I want to see the Snotlings go down. Is I think my feeling. So I'm rooting for Elliot here, unless Andy goes full heel turn, then I'm rooting for Andy. But this is for Stunty Cup. This match, so all to play for here.
I think, and if you were, either of you two gentlemen had 210k for inducements, where would your money go? Would you do something like a Skitter combination with maybe 50k for a mascot or something else, or would you be looking to spend all of that on one big guy?
I mean, I always lean towards big guys, but I think I'm biased there. What about you, Tom?
I think it might be actually more around kind of some agile players than that.
Yep. I don't know if we've dropped people. Are you still there, Luke? I think you might have
I
dropped.
am still here.
Mr. Hobble has decided to depart, but if you're still there, maybe it's not me. You still there, Tom?
I am still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. There we go. We're all back. We're all back.
This is the joys of broadband in Suffolk, everybody. It's amazing what you can do with some sellotape, some string, and cardboard. Just to call out the man, the myth, the legend, who is in chat tonight. Good evening to John Reader. Hope you're not in the car. Hope you are driving safe. If you are, just be careful out there. The for the knockouts as well, just to confirm, after the 16 turns, then it will be 8 turns. So if coaches do decide to play another 16 turns, that's their prerogative, but it won't really count. But we'll let people decide on their own.
Standard extra time rules.
Indeed. Next, we're moving on to Harrison and his dodging Amazons against everybody's favorite lizard player after Ash. It's Chris and the Bitey Ducks. Is this the season for the Bitey Ducks, even giving away a very, very healthy level of inducements? Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, as Chris probably rightly cheered from his hot tub, rolling tackle is probably the best skill he could have rolled here. But yeah, Harrison's got a lot of 270k. That's pretty much most of the stars you can think of, which, you know, Chris will have to deal with. And I'm looking forward to seeing this match and which way Harrison goes with it.
Yeah, so 270 can get you exactly Glottal Stop, who is, you know, quite a fearsome lizard. Or maybe go with Dribble and Drawl and then hold.
That's what I think I would lean to.
Yeah, go with Dribble and Drawl and just cause a little bit of disruption with those skinks. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. To be honest, that one's too hard to predict.
Andy in chat calls out Dribble and Drool as his option of choice here as well for the Amazons. Just a call out to first time person on tonight, Slime Lord Muku. Good evening. Welcome to the crazy technical world and insanity that is the A&DBBL Season 9. If you're in the area in Suffolk, or if you're not and you fancy popping by and having a game, please do as well. So good luck between Mr. Coe, who I think is looking forward to this one, and versus Harrison as well. Then we come on to a really interesting match here. This is another Lizardmen Dark Elf. Two coaches in their first season for a while, that is, particularly for Andy as well. Andy and what's been a really ominous claws of corn with his Dark Elves versus Ash, who, despite that first loss, has really been able to put a good team together and then to go with 260k in the bank. Luke? Oh, sorry, apologies. Just going to go back. Dodgers versus Ducks. Where's your money? Tom. I'll put top. You can have 30 seconds, Luke. Tom.
Oh, that, like I say, that's a really difficult one to think, but I'll have to side with the Ducks.
Oh, he bottled it. He bottled it. Luke.
I'm absolutely rooting for the Ducks only because I want the chance to face them in the final, assuming I get there too.
Okay, I have no doubt it's going to be Chris. Anyway, or Harris. Who knows? No I'm just the impartial. I'm the impartial voice of the BBC. Going back to Andy versus Ash, then 260k ready for Ash in terms of his lizards. Thoughts on this one, gentlemen?
So again, it's that. I mean, the I can't remember, a lizard Sylvian Spotlight, is that what it's called? But that package of stars is all pretty good, especially at that level, where you can get, you know, more than one. But yeah, I mean, I think my gut is with Andy or Phil here, where the Dark Elf team is just looking so strong.
A quick look at that, Andy, and his Dark Elf. So he's got his blodgers, he's got a tackle piece as well, which is going to be challenging for the skinks on there as well. Dodge side step block is, that's an evil one, isn't it? Really got the extra re-roll with the lead skill, and then a sneaky git and a dauntless. So if you've got a dauntless, you're always going to go and got the attempt to punch Crocs or punch the Saurus as well in that one. What to say there? Good evening, Mr. Rue, Prince of Ipswich. I think Ash is almost done playing this, so I think the Dark Elves will win, or maybe Ash will decide to go all out, a bit of a YOLO, and you never know. So the guys are looking good, and we haven't even come down to mention the Wrestle Witch Elf as well, who was always an incredible ball sacking piece as well. 12. That's looking a very, very interesting Dark Elf team. So, gentlemen, what are your predictions for this?
I'm going to go with Claws of Corn because I faced them in the season, and Andy really knows how to play that team.
And I'm planning myself agreeing with Tom again. I think it is my money's with the Dark Elves here, but I do quite like the underdog Lizardmen who have been through loss of player after loss of player. So I'm going to go with Ash here. I think he's got the underdog chance.
Cool. I always like the underdog tag as well, and I think it'd be good to have a bit of lizard on lizard action in the quarterfinals. So good luck to both Ash and good luck to Andy as well, both gentlemen. They're going to come a cropper in the next round anyway, whoever wins, because we all know the the engraving is almost on the trophy for the Ducks as well. So no pressure, Chris.
Yeah.
Moving on to the next one in terms of this, a repeat of what we saw in Middenheim this season. Jamie and the Dwarves, not a magic torch, Jamie and his Dwarves versus Graham and his Amazons. 2-0, this was a result for the Dwarves a couple of matches ago. Do you think then Graham will take that? And do you think against all of that tackle block and everything, and even conceding 75k worth of inducements, do you think Graham's still got an opportunity to look at who, this ominous dwarf side who we know Jamie plays so well? Luke? Oh, sorry, Tom. Luke?
No, go for it, Luke.
Okay. Yeah, so this is a bit of a weird one where I think because we had Jack drop out, and I mean, Torplay is a magical wizard who none of us really understand. We were expecting a few weird things, but yeah, it's unfortunate a kind of replacement game has happened. But I think having played, both of these coaches, I think Graham's got a chance here. Especially once you played Dwarfs once, you kind of know what to expect a little bit. And so I think my money's with Graham here. I think he's got a chance against this.
And as a former, you are a former Amazon coach in your past as well, Tom, aren't you? Or is it something you've never?
I've played them in sevens. I haven't, and I've played them on a couple of things, but not in any kind of anger. But that Amazon team is pretty dangerous by the looks of things. How those skills match up against dwarfs, though, not too sure.
3 mighty blow guard pieces with block, or that tackle. You've got a block dodge runner as well, and just for fun, chucking chucking additional guard, and then 3 re-rolls. And Jamie still has 445k. Although, as Mark proved, they are not insurmountable when playing against an edge team.
Yeah, but if you think he's got 75 petty cash, that's Cindy Pie Whistle. Potentially just to cause a little bit of mayhem.
Also a lot of skill points on spell with 445k in the treasury for Jamie, which is an expensive way to go.
Just buy Death Roller and be done with it.
Andy makes Andy, as in Snotling Andy, makes the comment, good evening Andy, in chat tonight. The Dwarves tackle block spam. Yeah, he's just clearing the field, especially if he has Cindy in there as well. And Dark Elf Andy there as well comes back and said the Amazons need to hope their armor holds. Definitely. I think it's going to be very, very close. Gentlemen, your predictions, please. Luke?
I'm going with Graham.
I'm going to go with James.
Okay, I think Graham will give it a good go, but I just think Jamie has got the edge with that tackle as well, and I think that mighty blow against Armor 8 is going to be very, very telling. So yeah, I think it's going to be a Jamie one. Then we're coming on to the Tipsy Tankers, Robert Handley versus some bloke and the Orphic Gladiators. Mr. Baggett, we did touch upon this earlier before we started the stream. Whoever blocks first, is that going to decide the result for this one?
Very possibly. I mean, it's, I think, going to be an incredibly enjoyable game regardless of what the outcome is. But yeah, it's a team that I've been keeping an eye on throughout the season, thinking, really hope I don't get that in the playoffs, and here we are. So I think it will be... I mean, he's only armor 8, which is it's basically a Wood Elf team. And we saw how that went last time.
Rightfully.
Fighting talk already.
I'm not even playing Scott. And,
this is going to be a game of the ages because you got, as Torplay suggests, they're both veterans now. Yourself and Robert. So your stats are, both teams are very impressive on here. you know, even with Robbie, who's only got 30k, so there's not much. There's not a lot you can do with that, to be brutally honest. Yeah, look forward to seeing how this one goes.
When is this scheduled for, Luke? Is it this week?
Wednesday night.
Ooh.
So I think both Handleys are playing their knockouts
Is
side
that
by
going to be in
side.
Hopsters?
It will be in Hopsters, yeah.
So if you are in the
come join
Hopsters
us.
area, yes, pop down, have a glass of lemonade or anything else other than that refreshing. And is Sisyphus going to get to a stat bust?
He's aiming for it, but I mean, he's yeah, we'll see how it goes. But I need to get through his double stat up Valkyrie to get there. But yeah, it would be nice if I can get the stat up by the end of the season, even if I'm knocked out. That's my goal, I think.
Well,
One
let's see.
touchdown's all I need.
Very true. And this is the team you're up against. So despite High Harry being, edge busted and armor value busted, he's coming in again. A lot of SP there in the bank as well. He's coming in, and you're not tempted. This is the last hurrah for everybody. Obviously, season 10 going to be here with the new Blood Bowl as well. Luke, is now your time to burn your SP, or are you going to maybe regret it in the morning that you didn't spend it?
Yeah, I think it's more the regret. I'm going for the stat up ready for the semi-finals. That's what I'm hoping.
Love it. A bit of confidence on that note. I'm assuming you're going to back yourself to win this one, Luke.
Yeah, obviously.
Just have to clarify that for our listeners. Tom, where's your money at?
I'm actually going to go with Luke as well. I think he's got it. I think he's got the variety of players in there. Icarus 2 is a mini force to be reckoned with, and those three big guys that's just a dangerous combination up there.
Okay, well, as much as I would like to back Luke, because I think he's got a really good chance of it, given our previous and just for entertainment value, I know if I did back the Gladiators, he wouldn't like me putting the mockers on him. So therefore, in that case, Luke, just to balance it all out, I will go for the Tipsy Tankards as well. You don't mind, do you?
No, understandable.
I'll buy you a beer on the weekend just to make up for it as well. But we can have that discussion in the car. Moving on then to the next one, match number 7. This is Necro versus Dark Elf, the Prince of Ipswich against the former Prince of the Vampires. Then Dave Rue against Tom Huns. Mr. Hovel as a very, as you know, Necro, indeed, in terms of what not to do and what to do with them in terms of dodging wolves on 4-ups, versus someone you've played a lot of time, Mr. Tom Huns. So pretty equal in terms of team value, with Tom possibly with those additional linemen as well. I think this is going to be really, really close to call in terms of this as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a really interesting one because there's been some little things that I've noticed in this season that I've never seen in other ones. So, for example, Tom, with only having only got 7 players, but he's putting a lot of journeymen in there, and only 2 rerolls as well. But equally, let's hope that Dave doesn't have the same problems he did in the previous match where he just couldn't collect the ball, unfortunately. So like you say, there's quite a few bits and bobs going on here. Lots of different skills on a number of players. It's really difficult. However, I think my money will be on the Necromantic Horror.
Okay, I don't know if Dave has ever been accused of having problems with his ball handling skills before. That's a conversation to have offline for another channel. Mr. B, Tom is thinking that the Necros are going to edge it. Do you agree with that? Or do you think that Tom Huns, with these core players he's got with these Dark Elves, is going to be able to run away with it?
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, without having the so he's only got 2 rerolls, or 3 rerolls with leader. So the loner for the journeyman's not going to hurt too much.
Yeah.
But when it does hurt, especially in the knockout, it might be the thing that tips it. So yeah, I think I'm leaning towards Dave here, just because I think not having just standard linemen might be the thing that tips it.
I think it's going to be. Andy makes a good comment in terms of, I think the tackle pieces are really going to come into it for this one in particular as well, and of course, 2 claws. So that suddenly that armor 8, you're back to Wood Elves, slow Wood Elves as that as well. So that's going to be an interesting one, how that does as well. I'm going to put my money with Dave Rue. Don't let me down on that, Dave. People are coming around trying to take the TV already, so I need to keep that for the weekend. So if you could do your best, that'd be fantastic. Good luck to both coaches there. Good luck to Mr. Hans, knows his way around a pitch or 3, and good luck to Mr. Rue as well. Coming to the last match in terms of the championship knockouts, the man, the myth, the legend, John Reader against the man everybody, what can I say about Coach of Creedy's, Mr. Scott Phipps? Is this going to be the year when he becomes the bride and not the bridesmaid? Or is Mr. Reader and the strength of these orcs going to be a bouquet too far? Luke, what do you think?
My money's with Scott here. I think the way John's built his team, he's basically got no advantage against the Chaos Dwarves. 2 guard and 2 mighty blow and a tackle is all he's really benefiting there. It's and I just wonder if the movement from the Chaos Dwarves might tip him over the edge. So I think again this is definitely going to be one to watch, where I think Scott got quite unlucky with some random skills. I think he got a double shadowing, but even so, I think we both know how good both of these coaches are. It's going to be so tough to call either way, but
I think block, tackle, and block, on the ball center as well. Dauntless, okay, yeah. It's not as if a strength 4 is going to have much to worry about as well. Shadowing as well. Yeah, if anybody does, it's not as if the orc's going to be dodging out left, right, and center as well. But I think it all will help. I think the frenzy and wrestle, hobgoblin. And for me, there's a couple of players in here that may make a big difference as well. Mr. Hobble, I'm going to put you on the spot. Mr. Baggett has gone for the Chorfs. Are you Chorfs, or are you going to stick with your green boys that you love so much?
It's an interesting one because Scott really hasn't had a fun time with these Chaos Dwarfs. He really hasn't been enjoying them. And he kind of almost resigned to the fact that he wasn't making it through. But just because of the way that the actual group played out, he's through now. And it's really interesting because he clearly started off by putting on certain skills like block on your ball centaurs and stuff like that. But then the randoms have really played into his favor, as Luke says, playing against that orc team, which is really a bashy team. There is no speed or agility in that team whatsoever. It's going to be a difficult one. It's going to be really, really interesting. Is this going to be a point where John actually goes and buys a troll just for this game so he can do a 1-turn touchdown to try and get past that line?
He could be. He's in chat. Now's the time to ask. Mr. John Reader, if you're there. Tom Hobble wants to know, are you getting the big fella out?
Are you going for the best touchdown of the season?
Of the season, yeah. Well, they 115? Because he's got 135 in the treasury.
Yeah, and because Scott, I think, can afford a minor as well, which might be another thing we see come out. But again, I think this is all going to come down to inducement balancing in these knockout stages.
Absolutely.
I think
yeah,
most likely game to go to overtime with Phil there. I think, this is probably it.
Exclusive from chat then, Mr. Reader is nope, no troll. So you hear that first, sports fans, you hear that first.
Until the hour before where he changes his mind.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you suggesting Mr. John Reader is a bit of a tactician there as well?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, of course, he most certainly is as well. So you're going for Coach Creedy's. Tom, you didn't nail your colour to the mark.
I'm going to go with the Orcs. I'm going to stick with the Greenskins.
Okay, well, John, obviously you've got the backing of Mr. Hovel. You're not allowed more than 2 backers, as you know, given your position, invincibility. So I'm going to go for Coach Craigies as well on that one. Last thing, gentlemen, in terms of the championship, who's your potential champion at this stage of the knockouts?
Can I vote myself?
You can if you're feeling modest.
Yeah, always.
Love it. Love it. I love confidence in a coach. I love it. So Luke going for himself. Excellent, Tom.
I actually think the Melton Mudpackers might go all the way through.
You think-
They're cheeky enough to do that.
Andy, no pressure. So Tom is backing you as well. I'm going to go for Jamie Yates. I think his dwarfs could be the season for his dwarfs. I really do. I think if he gets the roll of the dice, gets the roll of the dice, plays it solidly. I think so as well.
I think my non-egotistical pick is James Handley. I think the Rats have been doing so well this season. This could be the one they squeak through.
We shall watch with interest. Moving down then to the Conference Cup then. Let's go through the first ones. Let's rattle through these ones. Jack is enjoying the dream over in the Nordic countries as well. So Phil, congratulations, Phil, straight through to the quarterfinal, where he will be facing either our own Tom Hovel here and the Boneyard Blitzers or Throg and Sir Honkin's Folly. Tom, you're playing the Gnomes. What do you think?
Yeah, I've only played Gnomes once, so it's going to be an interesting one. I haven't played Sir Honkinson's Folly. I'm just fearful of those trees.
And
trees and foxes, scary.
Yeah, and 210 in inducement.
Yeah, I've given
Could be
away.
Maple, but as we pointed out earlier, no foxes.
No, so I'll give it my best.
Okay, Luke, where's your money at?
I think it's probably with the Orcs at the moment, looking at how the two teams are currently. But I think will come down to what inducements Tom takes and what shenanigans the Gnomes manage to pull off.
I'm gonna have to go with Tom. Yeah, so there you go. As they're both called Tom, you can decide. Thank you very much indeed. Okay. Then we come on to Vampires versus Elven Union. Mitch and the Waldenhof Bloodlight against the Greystone Gladiators. 10 touchdowns between both teams in their last match. 6 for Justin, 4 for Mitch. So good win for both of them as well. Mitch, they're coming in here on a bit of form as well. Get 65k to play with. Will the Vampires have enough to focus on those limited number of super skilled up superstars? Luke, what do you think?
Yeah, I think Hypno and how well Mitch manages to get Hypno, because if you're Hypnoed, Blodge does not matter. And then suddenly you're a movement 9 that gets knocked down on 3 dice. So I'm rooting for Mitch here. I want to see, maybe it's just because I'm haunted by vampires still, but I want to see them do well.
Tom, as a former vampire player who has played Justin himself with these elves previously, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, Justin knows how to play those elves very, very well. I'm in agreement with Luke that I want to see Mitch do well. He's really got control of those vampires as we've seen in the previous game. So hopefully it'll be a vampire win.
Okay, I think both coaches are playing well towards the end of the leagues. I think Hypno Gaze will be the deciding factor in this, and I like vampires, so I'm going to go for the Blood Knights as well. Yeah, I just think that Hypno Gaze is maybe one step too far. Although if anybody can win, we've seen Justin, scoring with just 3 players on the pitch. So if anyone can, Justin can. Next match then we're going to then, if I just scroll down, sorry to that, is going to be Eagles of Corn versus Ogres. Will Carl take a reroll, or is he not going to be bothered this season really as well? 2 wins this season or already there for the Eagles of Corn. So doing some quite good stuff there already in terms of this for Mike as well. So Luke.
Yeah.
Edge and throw in and these dodging ogres or Khorne? What do you think?
Yeah, it's
Even
tough.
with 500,000, do you think we're going to
That's
see
it.
Carl bust out the big boys? Is he going to go for Morg? Is he going to go for Hack Flame or something else?
Could be a giant even. He's got plenty to play with. I've watched a few games of Eagles of Khorne, and you would not think they're new to Blood Bowl how well they've been playing.
I think he's played a few games before this, but he's done well in his first season.
Still, first season with us, and I think Carl is too committed to the no reroll to take it now. But I could be pleasantly surprised and he takes a reroll. But I think he's going to commit to it, and I think my money's with the ogres just because I quite like ogres.
Cool. Andy's in chat suggesting that Carl is pure Blood Bowl in it, no reroll. Yeah. Tom, on that, where's your money?
Well, yeah, Carl can take Morg and Maple. That would be quite a combination of things, and still has 85 left over in inducement money. So it's a phenomenal amount. But is it enough? Because although you've got it, and you've also got 5 ogres on the pitch as well, those Eagles of Khorne have been playing fantastic, and now the majority of them have got block, and you've got all that frenzy against a whole load of Noblars.
That's 6 dice every block.
Yeah, exactly.
And of course, don't forget he's got all of that horns as well. And so with the horns, you're going to get the +1 as well. Plus, if he does bring Maelita or Maelata, whatever you want to do, so he's got that claws piece as well to bring it down.
Yeah, absolutely. So my man's going to be on Khorne for this one.
Luke,
ogres.
Okay, sorry, Carl. I think it's going to be Khorne for this one. I just think they'll have a bit too much power in that as well, unless something magical happens with the inducements. That takes us on to the next one. Yours truly playing goblins. So we'll be playing Leanne and all of her secret weapons and all of her one touchdown wonders. So that'll be something to look forward to as well. Leanne will have £200,000. I said to the gentleman before we start stream, I'm expecting Leanne to take another bomber. So I'd imagine to see Bomber Dribbles up coming out on this one, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see Bomber and Fungus the Loon combination, but I'm sure it's going to be a fun, mad game, whichever happens. I'll ask you, gentlemen, you can be as nice and polite and both say Leanne if you want to. Luke, who's your money on?
Leanne.
Good. I'd expect you to, and I expect nothing less.
I would love for her to be you. I'll leave it.
You say with such wonderful passion, it makes me almost cry. Thank you, Mr. Tom Hobble.
If Leanne learns from the previous game, I'm not going to give her any tips. Then you might have some competition there, especially with all those secret weapons. Yeah. But you've got some good skills in there yourself. You've got quite a few bits and bobs, and I know how much you love to leap around the pitch. So I'm actually going to put my money on you, Scott.
Oh, what a nice man! What a nice man. Checks in the post, and Luke, that beer I owe you is going to be half.
Is that yeah.
Well, we're going down, so it's now down to a half a match as well. So our match is a week on Sunday, so towards the end of it. But looking forward to that. Always have a very good and entertaining match with Leanne's. It'll all be about fun and stupidity. Then we come on to Imperial Nobility versus Necro. Jane on the back of that win, then bringing the Necro into it. James. First win. He has got a couple of wins this season as well, so he's starting to get familiar with Imperial Nobility. It can be a difficult team in terms of if you can't get your armor breaks on them as well. Plus, you have 1 or 2 or 345,000 gold pieces ready to go. Luke, Do you think that's going to give James enough to step up against Jane and some superstars in Jason Kelce and Fenris the Wolf as well?
Yeah, I think it's quite a good matchup for Nobility, where you can kind of control quite a lot of the Necromantic's movement, and having 345k, you know, that's easily Griff. Could be, is it Morg? No, not quite.
No.
But anyway, it could be more re-rolls because he's only got one in the bank at the moment. Yeah, I'm gonna hedge my bets with Nobility here. I think he's got a chance.
Two excellent defensive teams there, Tom. As a former Necro player yourself, do you think this is the opportunity for Jane in the final season with them for the final season for these for the Wolverhampton Shamblers?
Yeah, I hope they are, because she's built this team really well. She's got some really key pieces. It's going to be difficult because, like Luke says, the Imperial Nobility can get Griff, they could get Deep Root, so they can play different types of games. And we've unfortunately with Necromantic Horror, if you start losing pieces, even if they're linemen, it starts to become very, very scary. But I'm going to stick with it and say my money's on Jane.
Okay, I think this could be another one for the Necro Horror as well. I think if Jason Kelce plays to his ridiculous 2+ stat plus that he's got as well, this could be another one for Jane to progress. So we'll wait and see that with interest as well. Coming down to finish off as well, the last two, penultimate one, Wood Elves versus Dark Elves. Mark on the back of that, you know, as you can see in terms of form, 1-2 out of his last three. JD coming off the back of a win as well. Dark Elves against Wood Elves. Is it going to be Armor or Adge? What do you think, Luke?
It pains me to say it, but I think Adge here. I think having 220 spare, and yeah, you know, we've been seeing how quick Mark's improving, but JD's team is so skilled up, all with randoms, so he's not really adding much team value. There's a lot to manage there, but yeah, I'd like to see Wood Elves win, but the Assassins to get a couple of multiple block stab kills. Oh no, he hasn't got multiple block anymore.
He doesn't.
He did. No.
Block, no, but he does have Fenris, who's got block tackle, kick to control it, diving tackle. So again, even a Woody needs to dodge out on a 4-up. And with tackle, of course, you can't use that inbuilt reroll as well. So sidestep as well. 220 will, of course, get you something like Edriel Sidewinder if you want a bit of Hypno Gaze. It will also get you, if you want a bit of on the line Maple for 210.
So it won't get you Sidewinder. He's 230.
Apologies, he is 230 as well. Yes, you're absolutely right, Tom. My apologies. My maths is not what it used to be. Tom, in that case, Luke is going for the Woodies. Is it wood or dark for you?
Yeah, it is an interesting one because you're quite right. Those skills on those Dark Elf team is quite phenomenal, really, isn't it? There's a lot there. You're definitely going to be looking back through the skills list to go, well, what do we do against this particular player?
And how that combo works.
Yeah, exactly. It's a real difficult one on this. I'm actually going to go with the Dark Elves purely on the basis that although the Wood Elves have got a lot of good things in there, it will kind of maybe depend on what inducements they bring to get themselves up to the same level. And equally, those Dark Elves have got a lot of things, like got a couple of frenzy players in there as well. That's not going to be nice at all. So yeah, I'm going to go with the Dark Elves.
I think the Dark Elves might have a little bit too much. It'll be interesting to see what Mark does in taking that 220k. He has played Maple before, so it should be interesting what happens. At the moment, I think that Dark Elf and that frenzy on the sidelines with those tackle pieces might be giving JD that edge and the armor 9 as well. we shall wait and see. Good luck to both Mark and to JD with that match. Coming to the last one then of the octafinals, we have what I expect will be the most, if not, one of the entertaining matches of the round. Mr. Norman against Mr. Stevens. You also have the bounty still on Moonface, who I believe if anybody wants that, it's going to be Scott Norman as well. So we're going to have 120k favor for Wreckham AFC. The Ogres have had a bit of a difficult one, still getting some wins there in terms of this season's results, though. Simon has just won the one. Been a difficult one, as we said, despite fouling everything under the pitch. Is that one reroll going to be one reroll too few? Luke, what's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, so I'm hoping this one get played because Simon had mentioned it possibly about stepping out in the knockout stages, but I think maybe Mr. Scott Norman has managed to persuade him to play this. So I'm hoping we get to see it played, but we'll see in due course. And I think this will be probably the competition for most fouls at the least. I honestly don't know where to call this one at all because I think both players will egg each other on and just foul each other well with no one left on the pitch.
And Tom, thoughts? 5 rerolls for Scott Norman versus 1 reroll for Simon. So we know what's going to happen. It's going to absolutely be all out, all crazy. 10 cheerleaders, 6 assistant coaches. Yeah. Craziness, carnage incarnate for both coaches as well.
Yeah, it's an interesting one because there's a lot of Noblars there on that Wreckham team against a quite heavily statted up Blackhawk team. But I'm going to go with the underdog, and I'm hoping that the Blackhawks pull this one off because, I think the Wildermill Wasps have been in a number of seasons, and they deserve a good ending.
Cool. So Simon, no pressure, but Tom has your back. I think Scott Norman, I think those extra rerolls are going to give him the difference. Last thing, gentlemen, before we finish for this evening for that wrap up, who is your money on with regards to the conference title? Luke?
I'm gonna say it pains me, but it's probably you.
You're definitely not getting a beer for that. No.
Thompson will balance out.
No. If Justin makes it through this game, I think it'll be Justin.
Okay, I'm going to go for Mitch because I think those vampires are just coming sweet at the right time, and I think if he plays it well as he's been playing the last 2 matches, I think he could be onto a very good one. May Bloodlust go for him. Good luck to all of our coaches. As we've said, please look to get your games in within the next 2 weeks. So the last day for games is Sunday, the 21st of September. If you cannot make any games or your opponent cannot make any games, drop a note to either Mr. Luke Baggett, Mr. Scott Phipps, or Mr. Christopher Cole. And between rum-filled drunken encounters and everything else these guys get up to, one of them will get back to you in terms of how we can manage this for everybody's best interests as well. Good luck to all our coaches. Thank you very much. This has been A&DBBL. Reminder, if you'd like a mug, drop us a note. We still have plenty of beer mats if you would like them. We will look to post them as well, even abroad. So if you want them, please feel free and reach out. Again, we are supporting a really good charity. Thank you, Mr. Tom Hovell. Thank you, Mr. Luke Baggett. Thank you, everybody. This has been A&DBBL Monday night. I haven't been Chris Coe, but we'll speak to you next week. Happy Blood Bowling.
Great. Thank you.